Emily sits by that big bay window, a cotton rag held loosely to her lips, watching as the world goes by without her. Hello everybody, my name is Rodney Mashia, and I am here with my two wonderful friends, David Ward and Tommy Allen.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking a little bit. You're going to find out a little bit about my life. You're going to be hearing a little bit of my music. And I guess we'll get to know each other a little bit better. So, without further ado, roll it! 1, 2, 3, 4.
This is huge, musicians on the record. Bring it on.
Hi, welcome to Musicians on the Record. I'm David Ward. You've heard the music, now hear their story. I'm so excited today. We're talking from global to local, and we have Maine's own wonderful Rodney Mashia here with us today, in person, in a studio interview. Rodney, thanks so much for being here. Really glad to have you here.
My pleasure, my friend.
Yeah, awesome. You have a beautiful guitar here.
Thank you.
It's a Tailor. You got something special on this too. I don't know what that is, but can you tell us about this guitar, please?
This guitar, actually, the real story is rather interesting, but let's just say
Okay.
it's a guitar that's replacing a guitar that was lost.
Okay.
And I've had it about 3 years now. It's a Tailor. This is my third Tailor in a row.
Wow.
I love the guitars.
Yeah.
And this is actually a sort of an amulet charm.
Yeah.
It's actually a snake.
Wow, beautiful.
It was given to me by a friend of mine, and for some reason, people seem to think that the snake is one of my totems.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And so I put it up there.
Yeah.
That's where it lives now.
Beautiful. And for you, I mean, everybody has their own thing with guitars or instruments.
Yeah.
Why a Tailor for you?
Because I wanted a guitar such that I would never have to buy another guitar.
Ah, okay. Okay.
So I went out and bought a fairly expensive guitar, especially on my budget, and it gives me everything I want.
Yeah.
It's versatile, it can be loud, it can be soft,
Okay.
but mostly because I just like the way it sounds.
Yeah.
It has a very sweet tone,
Yeah.
and it's getting better,
Yeah.
as guitars tend to do.
Love it. Awesome. Great. So, you know, on Musicians on the Record, we talk about getting the musician's story.
Sure.
Can we start with yours of when did you fall in love with music and the guitar?
Well, I fell in love with music as a very young child. I was born in New Orleans, which people knew as the birthplace of jazz.
Yeah.
But I was raised in a small town about 20 miles outside of New Orleans called Norco, Louisiana. It stood for New Orleans Refining Company.
Okay.
And we lived literally about 50 yards from the church.
Yeah.
If you looked out the bedroom window of the bedroom I slept in as a child, you could see the church.
Wow.
And we were a church-going family. And I first got exposed to music, I guess, in church, at least in terms of performing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a real spiritual element to it to begin
Yeah,
with.
it was a Baptist church, and there was the choir. But more particularly for me, there's a tradition in the gospel church of gospel quartets, which is for sometimes 5 people who are singing in harmony. There's a lead singer, and there are people singing background. And my older brother was a guitarist for one of those quartets.
Wow.
And he had a quartet called the Stars of Joy of the Greater Good Hope Baptist Church of Norco, Louisiana.
Wow.
And one day, I had an aunt, Auntie Jane, we called her. She got it into her mind to have her own group. She had aspirations to be a manager.
Okay.
And so she got together all of the little brothers of the Stars of Joy, of which I was one. My brother played guitar.
Yeah.
And made another group called the Little Stars of Joy, original. And I was the guitar player for the Little Stars of Joy.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And back then I didn't know how to tune a guitar. I tuned to an open chord and played with my thumb, like Richie Evans played.
Yes, yes, yeah. And so was it singing first to begin with, then the guitar?
It was, I think it was the guitar first.
Okay.
I never really sang much as a child. Even in the quartet, I mostly played guitar.
Yeah.
I very rarely sang.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, I didn't come into singing until actually my 20s.
Okay, yeah.
A late bloomer that way.
Yeah. And so family was a big part of your early music story.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So your
Church and family.
Yeah, church and family. Your aunt, your brother, anybody else musical in your family?
You know, my brothers, my siblings all played.
Yeah.
And but not really, frankly.
Okay, okay. And then so the little stars, they went on the road. What happened with them?
They went on the road all the way to New P in St. Rose,
Okay.
which seems like a long way then, but it was actually about 5 or 10 miles away.
Okay, okay.
To different churches.
Yeah. And for you then, with picking up the guitar, was it more self-taught? Were there important teachers that came along?
It was totally self-taught.
Wow.
To this day, regretfully, I've never actually taken a guitar lesson.
Okay, wow, amazing.
Yeah.
And you play incredibly, you play beautifully, so that's amazing to hear. That's just like in your DNA then.
Well, yeah, if you do it long enough,
Right.
you kind of get better at it.
Right. Well, and ultimately, I think all music is to some degree self-taught, because even when you take lessons, you got to practice, you got to put that discipline in. So, yeah.
It's interesting because my other instrument is the flute, which I actually discovered before the guitar.
Really?
That was really my first love.
Before? Wow.
And I just learned in elementary school band.
Yeah.
Just like everybody else, but I just kept playing.
Okay.
I played in high school, I played in college, and I just kept playing.
Amazing. What was it about the flute that called to you?
I don't know. I just played it, and I just loved it.
Yeah. Okay.
I just loved it.
Okay. So
I like the fact that it was small and compact.
Yeah, right. Easy. It's mobile, right? Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. Not schlepping a guitar or drums, right? Yeah. And so you were in high school band.
Yeah.
So was there some education that happened there?
Well, yeah. Like I said, normally, we had a very good high school band. I lived in a very small segregated town.
Okay.
And of course, the high school and obviously the band was all black.
Yeah.
But for the size of the band, we won all kinds of awards.
Yeah, amazing.
We just had an amazing music director.
Yeah,
amazing. And by the name of Mr. Kid Jordan. Mr. Jordan, who's still active in the New Orleans music scene.
That's wonderful.
You can Google him.
Yeah.
And in our school there was no football team. There was no baseball team.
Wow.
There was a basketball team, but band was the only game in town.
Yeah.
If you were going to be one of the cool kids, you were in the band.
Sure.
The band was the thing.
Right. Amazing. Yeah. Amazing. And I hear that from so many people as well, and then I hear the opposite story.
The band geeks.
Yeah, right. The band was not cool somehow. Yeah. Amazing.
We had a really good band.
Yeah.
Like I do say something.
Sure. Well, it sounds it. And I mean, so rich, the music from New Orleans, and obviously you were so close. Who were some of those musicians, music, whether guitar, flute, or otherwise, that really were inspiring to you, that got you into music?
Well, as a child, I listened to soul music on the radio. WILD.
Yeah.
New Orleans. And WOKQ.
Yeah.
But anyway, there was just a lot of soul music stations playing, Ray Charles and James Brown and Sam Cooke, who was my particular hero.
Yeah.
I have everything Sam Cooke ever put out.
Yeah.
And some stuff he didn't. but yeah, those were, soul music, Aretha Franklin, all those folks.
Yeah.
And guitar, I didn't really have a guitar hero.
Okay.
As an adult, I grew to like anybody who could play fingerstyle guitar really well.
Okay.
Michael Hedges was a particular favorite of mine.
Michael
Hedges.
He
passed away a few years ago.
Okay.
Amazing guitarist.
Yeah.
But on flute, there wasn't a lot of flute on the radio.
Right.
Where I grew up in the 50s anyway.
Sure.
And even in the 60s.
Yeah.
But one of my earlier influences on flute was a guy named Herbie Mann. He was a jazz flautist.
Okay.
And also a jazz flautist named Hubert Laws. We're still playing.
Yeah. See, I love this too, because this show to me is about getting a musician's story, but it's also a history lesson. And if you don't know these names that Rodney is talking about, Google them, because these are people who are rich in our history with music, right? Yeah, incredible. Yeah. So I'm wondering then, with this inspiration, you're playing, you got to be singing in your 20s.
Yeah.
Was there a dream around music that you had? And if so, what was that?
I never really had a dream around music because just sort of fell into it by accident, at least in terms of the performing part of it.
Okay.
Because I didn't really do the singer-songwriter thing again until I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
The way I started that, I was post-college living in a boarding house with a guy who played music all the time.
Yeah.
And we used to play at a local coffee house in Boston called The Sword and the Stone. It's on Charles Street.
Amazing.
And he used to play there all the time. And he kept inviting me to come down and bring my flute and basically accompany him while he played.
Wow.
And I did that for a few months. Then I said, oh, I can play here. And so I wrote a song.
Okay.
And I, played it on my guitar, and people liked it.
Wow.
And that was really the start of my
amazing
singer-songwriting career.
Where did music start to go for you from there? Obviously, it sounds like you made your way to the Northeast, up to Boston.
Yeah. After college, I was in my 20s, and I was living in the greater Boston area, in Cambridge, actually.
Okay.
And I used to, gig locally.
Yeah.
Again, mostly with my friend Carl. And for a while, I played in an acoustic trio. We called ourselves BMW, for Boat, Weber, and Mashia.
All right.
I recently came across some recordings from way back then.
Oh, that's great.
75.
That's great.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
But we played a few places, local colleges and bars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you wanting to do music professionally for a living at that point?
No, I never had any aspirations to do it for a living.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
And so what you did this just for pure love, something else to pay the bills?
Yeah. I was a computer programmer for most of my career.
Got it. Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah. I'm wondering for you, Rodney, what kind of challenges, obstacles were there with music, whether early on or later on down the road?
I guess really the only real challenge for me musically was my own lack of ambition around it.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it's always just been something I've done for fun, and other people tend to enjoy it, so they invite me to play, and I'll come and play.
Yeah.
And it was many, many years before I saw my music as something of real value.
Okay.
And it wasn't really until I started, writing my own music that really it became something of real value.
Yeah.
You can interpret other people's songs,
Sure.
but still they're other people's songs.
Right.
But when you write something and sing something that's yours and personal and from your own heart and from your own spirit, people get it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I found that people got it. I said, okay.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, and I could certainly hear the Sam Cooke, the soul music influences in you. How did that transition happen, though, that you went, you sort of started seeing that your own value with that and then writing?
Actually, there was a time in the late 70s when I was part of a singing group called On the Wings of Song. And it was based in Ashby, Massachusetts at a place called Spring Hill, which I was also involved with in terms of helping with the workshops.
Yeah.
They were called Opening the Heart.
Right.
And my first exposure to sort of playing in a large public forum was with that group. I sang and I played flute and I sang lead on a few songs. And every now and then I'd get to sing a solo, just me and my guitar. But that's when I really started to see the power of music. Not so much mine personally, but the power of the group and the power of the message and the power of spirit. Because it was very visibly moving people, including me. And
amazing.
And after a while, when you play certain songs and you see people with tears in their eyes, and you can't help but believe.
Yeah. So your heart got opened, sounds like. Yeah.
And I feel very fortunate because, I feel like I have a very clear message as to why I'm on the planet.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very amazing thing to have.
Absolutely. Which is, can I ask, what is that?
Is music.
Yeah.
And, I dare say healing through music, but mostly having people feel through music.
Yeah.
Because feeling is healing.
Yeah. If there's one feeling you would want people to have with your music, listening to it, in the world, what would that be?
Yeah, on my business cards, which I should print some more of because I don't have any left. The last thing it says, it's all about joy. Somebody goes down to the new in Dixie. All the way she's talking to herself. When she gets there, she just keeps on talking. Conversing with the groceries on the shelf. The white folks, they pretend that they don't see her. The colored shake their heads and they force a smile. But Miss Emily don't care what folks think about her, no, no. She just pushed her empty basket down the aisle. 'Cause Miss Emily lived in a land uncharted. She had slipped into a room that had no door, to a world where none can follow, to a place where none can go. Miss Emily, you see, she don't remember anymore. Miss Emily sits by that big bay window, a cotton rag held loosely to her lips, watching as the world goes by without her, like a landlocked sailor watches ships. She don't know me and she'll never know my children. I wonder if she knows that Bam was dead. I wonder if her heart still holds those dear sweet memories of the life of love and laughter she once led. 'Cause Miss Emily lives in a land uncharted. She had slipped into a room that had no door, to a land where none can follow, to a place where none can go. Miss Emily, you see, she don't remember anymore. Miss Emily came down the stairs one morning. I thought I saw a light shine in her eyes, but then the light had faded, Lord, and the tears began to fall, like a cold dark rain from winter skies. Miss Emily, well, she passed away one evening, and now she's with the Lord that she adored. No way to know for certain, but I sure do believe that all her memories have been restored. Lord, know I do. But Miss Emily lived in a land uncharted. She had slipped into a room that had no door, to a land where none can follow, to a place where none can go. Miss Emily, you see, she don't remember anymore.
Amazing. Yeah. Can you say some of the, maybe the highlights of bands that you've played with, or gigs that sort of come to mind, whether healing through music or otherwise?
Yeah, probably one of my most powerful experiences as a musician was with the singing group on Wings of Sound. Mm-hmm. And I forget exactly when, I think probably the early 80s. We went on tour and we played at the Pentagon.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, and so you have to imagine this huge choir standing in the halls at the Pentagon.
Yeah.
And I got to sing Imagine. John Lennon's Imagine.
Goodness, that's amazing. Wow.
And it was just so powerful.
Yeah.
People were saying, they were seeing generals stopping in the halls and crying.
Wow.
It was just a very, very, very...
That's incredible.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To give that message of peace and love in the corridors of, they said, violence.
Right. Yeah, right.
Just a very moving thing.
It's incredible.
And to see these people who are
yes.
normally kind of held in and reserved,
Right.
actually
Right.
reacting to the music.
Yeah. You moved them, right?
Yeah, we moved them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spirit moved them, actually.
Sure, right. Yeah, through you, though, right? Yeah.
I've always felt like I was the vehicle.
Yeah, it's incredible. Unbelievable. And any others that sort of come to mind?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's so many, and a lot of times when I do a particular song, when I'm going to do later, about my grandmother and her battle with Alzheimer's, I find that it's such a universal song.
Yeah.
And I've never played it without someone coming up to me afterwards and saying, you know, they have a parent or a relative or a grandmother or someone who it's touched so many people.
Sure. Right.
And so to have the gift of being able to play the song and touch people, it's just, you know, a blessing beyond imagination.
Sure. Yeah, incredible. I mean, that's obviously an inspiration right there with your songwriting.
Yeah.
Are there other ways or things as part of your creative process? I mean, how do you, from the thin air, just start doing something and a song comes out? How do you do that?
That's a good question. Well, my songwriting process almost always begins with the guitar.
Okay.
You know, I find a riff or a set of chords that I like or something just noodling around. Okay. Or typically trying to play something else, another song.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
I can't play that one, but I can make one up.
Okay.
That's kind of like it. So yeah, it's typically starts with the guitar, and I have lots and lots of melodies. Okay. Melodies come very easily for me. Yeah. Lyrics come with much more difficulty. So I have this whole stack of songs that are waiting for words.
Yeah, amazing. So the guitar first, the melodies, and then the lyrics, if any. Some stay instrumental, maybe?
No, not really, but some stay unwritten for a long time.
Right. And do you usually end up recording them into something so that you remember the melody? Yeah.
Most of them I record just into my guitar. Yeah. Or to my computer, rather. Yeah. And, you know, the second song I'm going to do today, it's probably the one my most current song. And I haven't really recorded that one at all, so this will be the first time.
Okay, wow. Yeah, honored. So it will be recorded forever then on Facebook. So, yeah, amazing.
Or at least as long as the internet lasts.
That's right, exactly. By the way, speaking of that, when you were at the Pentagon, when was that? Who was in office at that point?
Oh, my God, 1982. Who was in office?
So Reagan?
Reagan.
Yeah, okay, amazing. Yeah, incredible. On the flip side of that, are there performances, gigs, playing with people, any other of those experiences that maybe didn't go so well, sort of the opposite, but you learned something from it, or a blessing came out that you got from it?
Yeah, I've never really had a negative experience playing music. I've had lots of experiences where I've forgotten the words to something. Okay. Including my own songs.
Okay.
But that's just that's just the ego saying, okay. Right. Yeah. What are you going to do now? Yeah. And it's all right. The world will not end.
That's right. Exactly.
So yeah. But it's always been a learning experience. Yeah. I've never gotten off stage saying, oh boy, that was really terrible.
Right. And do you play mostly solo? Are you in a band right now?
Well, right now I play with several people, mostly with a woman named Noah Geneva, who plays in Portland. Okay. She does a lot of Americana music. Yeah. We're kind of an interesting couple musically because we do totally different things, but somehow we come together and make it work.
Sure. How would you describe, for someone who wants to learn more about you and your music, how would you describe your music?
Again, on my business card, I call it acoustic soul. Because it's not necessarily soul music in the R&B tradition, but it's soul in the spiritual tradition. I think of my music as coming from a place, like I said, of joy, and just wanting to spread joy, and just wanting to have people feel. That's what music is all about for me.
Amazing. You know, certainly we talked about the soul influences, but that early music in church, in the gospel, are there gospel music influences, musicians?
It's interesting because when I say gospel, in my head, I mean, R&B and soul music because just about all of the soul singers from at least my generation and the generation after me
Yeah.
Started in the church.
Right.
I mean, Sam Cooke was a huge gospel star before he,
Right.
went into pop music.
Yeah.
It was a big thing. Him going over from playing God's music to the devil's music.
Right.
A lot of people didn't want anything to do with it back then.
That's right.
We're talking like the late 50s.
Yes. Yeah.
All my music really comes out of the gospel tradition, and I do a lot of gospel music in my sets a lot of the time.
Okay, that's great. And so for you then, Rodney, what are you working on now? Because I imagine there's ongoing practice and development and improvement. You've been playing for a long time, so, but what do you still work on?
Well, right now, and actually throughout my music career, my biggest struggle has been songwriting.
Okay.
And so I'm always in the process of, trying to write.
Yeah.
And so I look for inspiration. One of the things about my music and about my songwriting in particular is that I tend to write a lot about, emotional states that I'm going through, or that I experience as a black person, or even as a man.
Yeah.
Or and lately my life has been kind of calm.
Okay.
And I find that without a lot of drama, sometimes you have to sort of write about things that are, maybe not as personal, but are important.
Sure.
And so that's what I'm working with now, just trying to write, in a sense, less personal songs.
Yeah.
Songs that come from someplace other than my own personal experience.
Sure.
From a more universal perspective.
Okay. Sounds great. So less drama is good. It's good for some creative songwriting sometimes, but you're not wanting to stir up the pot to get more songs, right? Yeah. Let other people do that, right? So yeah. Where would you like your music to go? If we could wave that magic wand, what would you want with your music?
I guess the simple answer would be just more people to hear it. I want to increase the number of live performances I do.
Okay.
And not only increase the number, but change the venues. Typically, I do a lot of, we do a lot of gigs in bars and restaurants, which is a very different kind of backdrop for music than say a UU coffee house basement, a UU church basement, sort of the stereotypical folky venue. And so I really want to play more places where people are listening. Just play more places where people are listening and paying attention. And I've done that a couple of times in the last couple of weeks, and it's been great.
Oh, and whereabouts?
Well, I had this opportunity through my friend Noel that I play with to play at this brunch for this AME church, the one on the East End, Portland.
Yeah.
And they had a brunch at a hall in Westbrook, I think it was. And they invited me to play.
Okay.
And what was different about it, that was because in Maine, I'm a black person, and typically I'm the only black person in the room when I'm performing.
Yeah.
And this, because it was this, black AME church, the audience was like 75% black.
Yeah.
And I did a gospel song, Nobody Knows the Trouble I Seen. And it was just so powerful and amazing because it was like being back in church when I was a kid. People saying, "Yeah, sing it, boy!" And you're getting this immediate, visceral, emotional feedback while you're playing, and people, were crying, and it was just a whole different scene. And you can hear a pin drop. It was just and I want to do more of that. I want to do more of places where people actually care about the music and they're listening to the music, and they're actually feeling the music.
Sounds incredible, and I mean, clearly inspiring. Is it okay to ask you about what kind of challenges you've experienced as an African American man, either in Louisiana or Boston or Maine? What's some of those challenges that's been there for you?
It's interesting because I grew up in like I said, a small town in the Deep South. And it was very segregated. All of the black people lived on one side of the town, and all the white people lived on the other side of the town. And so people say to me, "Oh boy, that must have been terrible." And I said, "Well, not really." And this is, I was born in 1949, so this is during the 50s. This is still during the time of separate, bathrooms and water fountains and singing in the back of the bus. And I still remember in our town having to go to side of the movie theater and climb the balcony because we weren't allowed to go in the front door.
Yeah. Awful.
Yeah. But because I was in such a segregated community, and everybody that I knew was black, and most of them were my relatives or people I had grown up with, I felt in a way sort of buffered from it.
Yeah.
And I didn't really, you know, I mean, there were a few things that happened, you know, coming back from a band trip, and we stopped at this sort of no-name place on the side of the road, and this white guy wouldn't serve us, that kind of thing. Okay. But it wasn't until I got to college. I started college in '67, and was the next year, you know, Martin Luther King was killed. Yeah. And that's really started my sort of political awareness, because I was attending an all-black college at the time in New Orleans. Okay. And it just sort of opened my eyes to a lot of things. And even at the college in New Orleans at that time, it was still very, very segregated. I remember I lived in a dorm. And I remember some of the older kids used to go on fried chicken runs to this restaurant. And they couldn't go to the front door of the restaurant to get their food. They had to go to the back.
That's unbelievable.
And have the people bring out the food so they can bring it back to the dorm.
Wow.
It's
awful.
just sort of,
so
that was still happening. And this is 67, 68.
Sure.
Yeah, so that sort of shaped my political awareness.
Yeah. And have there been challenges when, as an adult up here, or has it been different for you?
There have been lots of internal challenges, I'll put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, I have not really experienced, again, any overt racism in Portland, but I'm also aware that I don't really place myself in situations, for the most part, where that's possible.
Sure, right.
It doesn't happen at gigs, it doesn't happen at curtains where I play flute. You know, I sort of tend to stay in circles where, you know, more progressive, liberal, people who are at least working on their stuff.
Sure, right, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But, you know, I'm well aware that it's out there.
Yeah.
I remember driving way up north to a workshop with a friend of ours, Stephen Andrew, and it was like 11 o'clock at night, and we were running out of gas.
Wow.
And I remember thinking, boy, what would happen if we ran out of gas here, and I had to go knock on somebody's door?
Right.
I think about that.
Yeah, sure.
I think about that in the wintertime, especially. If I'm in the middle of nowhere and it's cold, and if I run out of gas, I can freeze to death because I'd be, you know.
Right.
But that's the kind of thing, you know, I think about that, you know, lots of people don't have to.
Right. Yep. I'm wondering, from your experience playing, your wisdom playing, what would be the sort of top 2 or 3 things that you would give advice to young up-and-coming musicians who might be watching this in the future, whether about guitar, songwriting, that creative process? What sort of comes to mind for you around that?
Well, I mean, there's the obvious thing around musicianship.
Okay.
Just learn as much about your instrument as you can. Yeah. Don't follow my example.
Although there are some people who are the exceptions, like Rodney.
Yeah, I think of myself as a flautist who plays guitar.
Okay.
But I think the most important thing is just to be dedicated to the music and really have it inside of you that your music is worth putting out into the world on any level. You never know when you're going to touch people. You never know who's going to be listening. You never know what their experiences are. You never know how what you're saying is going to connect with their experience and what effect it's going to have. So just, you know, it's like, just keep showing up with it.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, I certainly feel joy just talking with you, and we're going to hear some music as well. Rodney Mashia, thank you so much for being on Musicians on the Record, my friend.
Thank you, David. There are things that I've done just for the money. There are things that I've done I said I did for love. There are things that I've done I can't begin to explain, y'all. when my push met up with my shove. But I don't need no wine, no weed, no whiskey. I ain't looking for no woman for my bed. All I need right now is simple kindness, oh, and a safe place to lay my head. Need a safe place to lay my head. I haven't always done the best I'm able, oh no. And if the truth be told, sometimes I've hardly tried at all. And as I walk along this narrow road that we call life, I've been known to stumble, y'all. And I've been known to fall. Oh, but I don't need no wine, no weed, no whiskey. I don't need no woman for my bed.
Keep going.
Right now, simple kindness, oh Lord, and a safe place to lay my head. And all my many years, and through all my many tears, can I mend my broken heart, oh, before it falls apart. Yeah, da, da, da. Oh, I never seem to catch up with tomorrow, no, no. Yet still I can't escape from yesterday. Well, I know there's a road that leads back to my heart, but surely I have lost my way. Oh, but I don't need no wine, no weed, no whiskey. I ain't looking for no woman for my bed. All I need right now is simple kindness, oh, and a safe place to lay my head. Need a safe place to lay my head. But once I had a love that felt eternal, yes it did. A love that felt so deep and so profound. But a love that left two hearts and one sweet guitar, and tiny broken pieces on the ground. Oh, but I don't need no wine, don't need no whiskey, no, no. I ain't looking for no woman for my bed. All I need right now is simple kindness, yes I do. Need a safe place to lay my head. Need a safe place to lay my head. Oh, and I don't need no wine, no weed, no whiskey. Oh, and I paid for too many women in my bed. All I need right now, simple kindness, oh Lord, and a safe place to lay my head. Need a safe place to lay my head.
absolutely beautiful. Amazing. Incredible, Rodney. And a sign of a true professional, because that's what you do on the gig. You just keep going.
Keep going.
Whether
dog or no dog.
Whether it's dog or technical issues.
Just
we love Bob the Bug, but he gave us a nice example to practice, it sounds like. For all of you musicians who need that advice, just keep going when there's a flub, right?
I've had kids coming on stage, but I've never had a dog before.
Right. First for everything here on Musicians on the Record, right?
Absolutely.